What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Football Chatbox. My name is Ryan, and today we're going to be discussing 5 things we learned from Game Week 1. Now, this is a returning series compared to what we did last season, where we trialed it out and didn't continue too much, but this time we're going to try and do it every Monday to discuss what we learned from the game week that just passed, or even if it's ongoing, discuss 5 things that we learned so far. And then on Tuesdays, we'll do the live streams that we usually do on a Monday, the knee-jerk streams, or discussing how Game Week 1 has gone and looking forward to Game Week 2. We'll do that on a Tuesday. So that's the current plan for now. Having said all of that, if you are new, welcome to the Football Chatbox. Hit a like, hit a comment, and also subscribe if you're new. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Let's get straight into the video. In number 1, Pep and Arteta roulette strikes. Now, we're used to having Pep roulette, and it didn't even take more than half an hour before the FPL deadline for Pep roulette to strike and send the entire FPL community into chaos. But added to that, we also got Arteta roulette. Now, that was kind of unexpected because we did not see that Gabriel benching come in before, because he hasn't been benched before. But I kind of thought this might happen because obviously now Arsenal have got in-depth squad as well. Like they got depth in centre back, they've got depth in their attack as well. So I'm not surprised that Arteta has tried something like this, because I thought it was eventually going to come as well. And I kind of figured that between Saliba and Gabriel, in my opinion at least, I think Gabriel is a bit more of a liability. And I'm not surprised that Ben White started there. I thought actually Timber would have started there, but he's played Timber on the right back. I mean, he played Partey at the right back slot. So it's not too surprising. Now, Arteta, with regards to this, mentioned that he wants to try and create loads of problems to the opposition. And also he wants to tailor his teams according to the opposition so that the team is more fluid according to who they're facing. So that kind of tells me that it's not only defense that's going to see a bit of rotation, but even attack could potentially see some rotation. We've already spoken about a few attacking options that Arsenal have before. Once Gabriel Jesus also returns, I won't be surprised if we start seeing a bit more rotation in attack as well. That means the likes of Martinelli, Saka maybe not, because he doesn't have too much options on his side, but Martinelli has plenty of options on his side. Even in the striker spot, they have a couple players who can play there. Odegaard, I think because he's captain, he'll play most of the games, but once Champions League starts, I won't be surprised to see him miss the off game. So beware, rotation will probably strike Arsenal, so you have to kind of keep that in mind with regards to your squads. I won't be surprised even if Saliba was to get like the occasional benching if he needs to get rest and everything. So that's Arteta roulette. But Pep roulette, now Pep roulette, we kind of didn't expect the Stones benching, but then Pep came and mentioned out that the benching was not featuring in the team was because of an injury he picked up, or a knock he picked up in training. So he's expecting John Stones to be back probably ahead of the Newcastle game, but he didn't really confirm that. So we might see Stones return back into the starting 11 for the Newcastle game. With regards to Ruben Dias, it seems like it was a concussion protocol, so which means he can't feature in the first opening game, but he should also potentially be back for the Newcastle game, because the concussion protocol only stops the player from playing for about 7 days, so you can't appear in a game for 7 days. So we should probably see both of them back, which means, again, more rotation in that City backline, because we saw Ake, Akanji, Walker, Lewis. If Stones and Diaz are back, someone's dropping out. So Pep and Arteta roulette strikes. Did you get any City defenders in? Because you might want to be careful. And obviously, you got Gabriel, unlucky, but I'm not sure whether to even drop him or whether to like start him for the next game, because we never know. Gabriel could be back in for the second match against who are they playing? Against Crystal Palace. So that is a possibility. He could be back in. So we'll have to wait and see, because Palace are pretty poor on set pieces. So if Arsenal did want to target, I think Gabriel could be a good opportunity. So he might actually get a game. You never know. So if you have Gabriel, I don't mind keeping him for game week 2 and starting him and seeing how things go. Worst case, if he gets benched again, then you make the transfer in game week 3. But I would give it one more game just to see, because that Palace aerial threat could be exploited and Gabriel might be the one to do it. So yeah, that's my thoughts on number 1. What are your thoughts? Let me know. Let's move on to number 2. Estupinan owners unlucky. Now, I watched the highlights of this, the extended highlights of this Brighton game, and the amount of chances that Estupinan got, it was crazy. Like the amount of assists that he could have got. I mean, if you're a non-Estupinan owner, you are a bit lucky that he came away with only 1 assist at the end as well. And for those who owned him, like myself, feeling a bit unlucky that he could have had a much more bigger haul. Now, I think Estupinan is a really good asset in that 5 million defensive slot, probably the best defensive option in that 5 million slot. We know, obviously, the first 3 game weeks they had, the fixtures are good, but there is probably a case to be made to see whether you can keep him in your team during the tough fixtures as well. Maybe you bench him for the occasional tough fixture, or you probably move him out and bring him back in as soon as the fixtures turn good as well. So that is something we kind of need to consider. But he's a really attacking fullback, and Brighton are a really attacking team, and I won't be surprised if he continues to get more attacking returns, even if they do tend to lose the clean sheet. So keep an eye out for that, but that's my number 2. Let's move into number 3. High line exposed. 5-1 win to Newcastle. Now, did we see that coming? I don't think so. I don't think anyone saw that 5-1 scoreline coming. Now, obviously, we've seen Aston Villa maintain a high line before, but not get really punished for it last season. They didn't keep a few clean sheets because of it, but like they didn't really get punished. But this game, we saw them getting punished. Almost every goal was because of their high line being exposed. Newcastle created 9 big chances. 4 of them were missed. The other 5 went in. So that kind of tells me that this Newcastle team is not a one-season wonder as well. They're up for the fight this season, and they're going to be a real force this season as well, which keeps Game Week 2 very interesting because they're going to be playing Manchester City, and Haaland is a potential captaincy choice for a lot of people who don't have a Liverpool attacker. So that should be a very interesting game to see whether Newcastle can go toe-to-toe with Manchester City. With regards to Aston Villa, will they get exploited like this again? It depends on who they face, I think. I also think Unai Emery will probably have a look at this game and kind of solidify his defense a bit more, see where they went wrong and see what he can change. I don't expect them to get hammered like this again, but probably a one-off game. But yeah, if they come up against teams that are good on the counter, that's going to be a problem for Aston Villa defensive owners as well. So keep that in mind. But yeah, Newcastle looking really good. Harvey Barnes and Isaac are 2 players I would add on your watch list ahead of their fixtures that turn in about game week 5. I know Isak has risen in price, but I still think the City game might be a bit tough for goals. The Liverpool game, I wouldn't put it off for him to get some goals there. It's a really good game for Newcastle to kind of counter, and they should be at home for that one as well. And then, obviously, the Brighton game might be a bit too tough in game week 4, but game week 5 onwards, they have a really good run. So keep those 2 players on your watch list. I would take note of those 2. And yeah, we'll see how they go. But let's move in to number 4. Ben Chilwell, too good to bench. Now, this game week, we saw a lot of managers benching Chilwell because they thought that he won't get a clean sheet, and which was right. We kind of all expected Liverpool to score, and they did. But he was so close to getting a monster haul. Obviously, goal ruled out for offside. But apart from just that goal ruled out for offside, he was playing so attacking in that Chelsea lineup. Poch came out and said about his tactics with regards to Chilwell, where at times he was playing as that left-sided attacker, left-wing attacker, with Chukwuemeka going into the number 10 and Sterling on the other side, and obviously Jackson in front. And then when defending, obviously Chilwell will come back. But yeah, there were instances where they would switch to a back four, which Chilwell goes in the to fill in that like the 4-2-3-1 kind of formation. But he was very, very attacking. And to be honest, I won't be surprised if he does really well in the next couple of games. And for those of you who have Gabriel and you don't want to give it another game week, I am not against, if you have 0.5 in the bank, I'm not against you doing Gabriel to Chilwell, because I think that's an upgrade, and I think Chilwell is probably the best 5.5 asset as well, in a defensive option that you can get in this game. Now, if he continues to stay fit, he should be really good. On the topic of Chelsea wingbacks, Reece James, it wasn't an injury. It was more so giving him a bit of a rest, because he's coming back from injury, and Poch didn't want to risk it. He came out and said he didn't want to risk it because he's coming back from quite a bit of a long time of injury. So that's why they were like, okay, 80 minutes, that's more than enough for Reece James, and took him off. So it's not an injury. Don't worry about it. But yeah, both Chelsea fullbacks look really good, but Ben Chilwell, this guy can be very attacking if he continues to play. So keep an eye out for Ben Chilwell. If you want to get him, I would get him in, to be honest. And then finally, number 5. How big is your sofa if you didn't have Salah? Now, Salah in that first half against Chelsea looked immense. He hit the post. He put a world-class assist. Scored a goal that was ruled out for offside. Had a couple other chances as well to score. Had a few shots on target. There was a possibility that Liverpool maybe should have got a penalty where it knocked, if I'm not mistaken, it knocked Disasi's hand in the box from a corner. So maybe there was a case for Liverpool to have got a penalty and Salah to have got a goal in Gameweek 1. But he looked really good in that first half. However, that was also due to the fact that in that first half, Chilwell was the one attacking down that left-hand side. But I keep mispronouncing his name, but Chukwuemeka, he didn't really play too much to the left-hand side. And that meant that Szoboszlai and Trent could also get forward, and they could support Salah in terms of giving him more options, and that allowed Salah to thrive in that first half. Now, in the second half, there was a slight tactical change, or at least I thought there was a tactical change from Poch, and you would notice that there was Chukwuemeka was more on the left-hand side as well, which meant there was someone else to kind of deal with for Trent and Szoboszlai, and that kind of kept Liverpool also very quiet, and also Chelsea were on the upper hand, so they were attacking quite a lot as well. So that kind of kept Salah quiet in the second half, but what I saw from the first half gives me and any other Salah owner probably confidence to potentially captain him this game week. Now, if you don't have Salah, what do? Are you going for another Liverpool attacker, or do you even have money to get Salah? Let me know in the comments. Or are you going to captain Haaland and hope for the best and see how this game goes? Let me know, because I'm very interested to know what you're going to do for Game Week 2 in terms of captaincy. But yeah, that's my 5 things we learned from Game Week 1. If you are new and you've reached all the way to the end of this video, and also if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. And also, again, if you're new, hit the like button, subscribe as well, right? Because we want to try and hit 1,000 subscribers, and with your help, we can do that. Also, let me know, did you learn anything new from Game Week 1? Put it in the comments and let me know what you thought about this video. Until then, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow after the United game, and then 9 p.m. Sydney time, we'll have a live stream to discuss everything that has happened in Game Week 1. Thank you all for watching. My name is Ryan from the Football Chatbox, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us.